Welcome, Explorers, to Day 2 of Asbury United Methodist Church Virtual VBS 2020 Discovery on Adventure Island. Today we're going to learn a Bible story from the Old Testament, a new song, do crafts, and science, and we're going to learn a Pathfinder from MG, our lighthouse keeper. Welcome to Adventure Island.
How wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ. Now this is my prayer, and this is what I pray. I kneel before the Father, and this is what I say. I pray the power of Christ strengthens you in every way, so you can see Jesus in your life every day. Yeah, this is my prayer. This is what I pray. I kneel before the Father, and this is what I say. I pray the power of Christ strengthens you in every way, so you can see Jesus in your life every day and know how high, how long, how deep, how wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ. How high, how long, how deep, how wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ. I pray you stand firm, I pray you grow roots so you won't be deceived and you'll only see truth. That Christ will live inside your heart when you are a youth. Stay connected to the vine and you'll bear good fruit. I pray you stand firm, I pray you grow roots so you won't be deceived and you'll only see truth. That Christ will live inside your heart when you are a youth. Stay connected to the vine and you'll bear good fruit. And know how high, how long, how deep, how wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ. How high, how long, how deep, how wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ. This is my prayer, and this is what I pray. I kneel before the Father, and this is what I say. I pray the power of Christ strengthens you in every way, so you can see Jesus in your life every day. Now this is my prayer, and this is what I pray. I kneel before the Father, and this is what I say. I pray the power of Christ strengthens you in every way, so you can see Jesus in your life every day. You'll know how high, how long, how deep, how wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ. How high, how long, how deep, how wide stretches all the way left to all the way right. From the depths of the sea to the stars in the sky, there's no greater love than the love I have in Christ.
Hi, Pastor Kip here. This is the second day of our virtual Vacation Bible School. Wasn't the first day exciting? Well, I want to tell you about the second day. Our theme today is Arise and Shine with Trust. And our Bible story is one of my favorites. It's from Exodus chapter 3, and it's the story of Moses and the burning bush. You'll find out more information today, but it's about how God spoke to Moses through a burning bush and called him to greater ministry. You know, I had a burning bush experience myself, not literally, but in a metaphorical way. When I was just a young person at church camp one summer, God called me to be a United Methodist minister. And my robe and these vestments are symbols of that ministry. I wonder if God might call you to be in ministry. Be open to Him. Have your heart available. Open your ears to what God might say to you today. Let me pray for you this morning. God, we are listening. We want to trust you. Ultimately, it's about saying, God, here's my life. Take it and use it for your purposes and for your glory. In ancient days, Moses never expected that you would call him to be the person he was, to lead the people out of Egyptian bondage. And yet you used him in spite of his weaknesses and shortcomings, and you empowered him to be a person extraordinary with grace. So God, we want you to do that in our lives. Help us to arise and to shine with trust, trusting in God. For ultimately, that is what makes the difference in how we live our life. Bless all who share today in Vacation Bible School, our students, our teachers, and may we all be learners. Learn to trust you more this day. Amen.
Hello, explorers. I'm glad you're back today. I'm MG, the lighthouse keeper here on Adventure Island. We were so successful yesterday in finding our first of the 4 infinity lanterns. Does anyone remember which lantern this one is? That's right. Together, with the help of our very first story in the Bible, creation, we found the infinity lantern of love, God's love. God is love, and everything God creates is out of love. Today, we'll read the second of the 4 riddles from my research to look for the second infinity lantern. Let's see. Take off your sandals, a bush and a fire helps in the search for the lantern to acquire. Not too far from you is the lantern of trust, with a light that won't blow out from gale or gust. Okay. The lantern of trust, take off your sandals, a bush and a fire. That sounds like a really unsafe combination. Maybe it's referencing a brush fire on the island, except that we haven't had any brush fires here in the history of Adventure Island. Let's see, since the Bible led us to our first lantern, let's look at it and see if there's a story about a bush and a fire. Aha! This story here looks promising. Let's take a look.
The book of Exodus is all about how God rescued the Israelites. The main character is a man named Moses. Though born an Israelite, he was raised in Egypt. Later, he lived in the desert for 40 years, taking care of smelly, dusty, dirty sheep. Chapter 3 of Exodus tells us about one extraordinary event. One day, while taking care of the sheep and minding his own business, Moses saw something strange. A burning bush. Well, actually, that wouldn't be so strange in a hot desert. You would think that Moses could just throw some water on it. But there was no need to call the fire department because the bush didn't actually burn. It was on fire but did not burn up. Moses wanted to get a closer look. That's when things got even more interesting. The bush actually talked to him. Well, the bush didn't actually talk to him. It was God talking to him through the bush. Kind of like a ventriloquist using a puppet. God said, "Moses, Moses." Well, Moses did the only logical thing he could do when talking to a burning bush. He said, "Yeah, that's me, Moses. Here I am." Then God told Moses not to come any closer, but instead to take off his shoes. That may seem very strange, but it's like taking off your dirty shoes before going into someone's house. It's a sign of respect. Anyway, back to the talking, burning, but not really burning up bush. God told Moses that God had heard the crying of the Israelites in Egypt. The people were living in slavery. They were poor, hungry, and had no one to help them. God had a special rescue plan and wanted Moses to lead the rescue. You see, God wanted to take the people out of slavery and into a wonderful land. The only problem is that the Pharaoh, the king of the Egyptians, would not want to let any of them go. God wanted Moses to be the one to talk to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites away to the promised land. He told God, "Who am I to lead them? How about sending someone else to do it?" God promised that Moses would not be alone and that God would give him everything he needed. if only Moses would trust. No, not dust, trust. The Israelites had been in Egypt for 400 years, and most of them didn't even know who God was anymore. So Moses asked, "Who shall I say is sending me to rescue them?" And God said, "I am who I am." Now that can sound a little weird or even a little rude, but God was really saying, "Trust me, I will be who you need me to be, a rescuer." It was a solid promise and a guarantee. So with that, Moses did trust God. He went to Egypt as an 80-year-old man and led God's people out of Egypt, just as God promised. Moses saw God do amazing miracles and fulfill all, I do mean all, the promises as he trusted God. And that's how it happened in the Bible.
Today's Bible story comes from the second book of the Bible, Exodus. In chapter 3, we learn that Moses was called by God for a special task. But Moses didn't feel worthy. You see, Moses didn't feel he could speak well. He was afraid he wouldn't be believed. But God was with Moses as he promised. God is with each one of us, and each one of us is worthy to do good work for God. Knowing that you are worthy to be called by God, think about something you believe God might send you to do for the good of God's world. In the Bible story today, God asked Moses to take off his sandals because Moses is on holy ground. Holy means set apart. Holy ground is a sacred place, a place set apart for a special purpose. Now close your eyes and think of a place in nature where you feel close to God. What does that place in nature feel like? Does it feel like holy ground to you? What do you see in that place? What do you hear? How do you feel? Now open your eyes. Moses did not feel worthy. Even though he didn't yet believe in himself, he did believe in God, and God believed in him. When we turn to God in prayer, it's important for us not only to talk to God, but to listen as well. Perhaps God could be calling us to do something. Do we trust God enough to truly listen and heed the call? Today's Pathfinder is Arise, Shine with Trust. I'm going to teach you some motions to help you remember today's Pathfinder. Ready? Hold your left hand in front with your palm open and right hand with 2 fingers extended. You're going to bring your right hand over in an arc and land your 2 fingers on your left palm. This is the motion for Arise. For Shine, hold your hands at chest level with your fingers held loosely apart, then rock your hands back towards you and then forward. For Trust, hold your left hand at your chest level and your right hand at your face level. Now bring your hands together with both fists. Let's do this together. Arise, shine with trust. Great job, explorers.
Each new day is another day. We will praise you for all you've done, for sending us your Son to light up the world. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Arise, shine,
Another great story. Let's use it to find the location of the next lantern, the lantern of trust. So the Bible story came from a book called Exodus. If we use the first letter of the name of the book in the Bible, that would give us the letter E from Exodus. Now all we need is the number. So we learned that the story of Moses and the burning bush came from chapter 3 from the book of Exodus. That must mean we use the number 3. So it must be, I'd say about here, E3. Fantastic work, explorers! Before we search for the second lantern, let's go over our signal verse. It's from Isaiah 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you. And remember, the best way to get around on Adventure Island is on a path. So today's Pathfinder saying is, arise, shine with trust. Explorers, could you say this with me using the motions? Arise, shine with trust. Okay, we're off to discover the lantern of trust.
Welcome back, explorers. I'm Miss Kelly.
And I'm Miss Julie.
And today's Bible story was about Moses and the burning bush. So Miss Julie is going to explain our crafts today. And first you need to get out your day 2 craft bag, and she will get started on letting you know what to do.
All right, guys. So the first thing that you're going to do is you need to pull out your template and your piece of contact paper. The first thing you're going to do is take the template, the picture, and you're going to put it on the back side of the contact paper where the blue and white checks are, and you can still see through. And then from there, you're going to take your Sharpie marker. It needs to be a permanent marker that you use, and you are going to press down and you are going to trace the picture through the contact paper. So you'll keep it down and you will trace the entire picture until it looks like this. All right, so you've got your template traced now. Now what you're going to do is you're going to need to get out your different colors of cellophane, and you're going to flip this, and you need to be at a table or on a hard surface, and you're going to set it down. And then you are going to take the back of the contact paper, and let me see if I can get it peeled. And you may want to do it in sections, or you may want to pull the whole thing off. It's up to you. I'm just going to pull the top part of mine off, and I'm going to start with my blue sky. So let's see, here's a piece of, you're going to take some scissors, and you are going to cut. And I'll show you a trick that I did when I was doing my craft. I took about 3 or 4 together, and I held them together, and I just cut strips like this, and then you'll take those and you will cut little squares, okay? So, and this contact paper can be kind of sticky and hard to work with, but you got it. All right, so then you're going to take your little squares of cellophane, and you're just going to start sticking it on. So I'm going to put blue for the sky, and it'll stick straight onto that contact paper. And don't worry about it hanging off the edges, because you will come back and trim the edges. So you're going to fill that in, and then you'll fill your sun in with yellow, the oranges for the burning bush. So I may pull this down a little bit more and take the orange for the burning bush. One thing you need to make sure that you do is on the template, at the top of the mountains, you need to leave that part white. That is going to help it to stick to the window when you're finished.
when you have finished putting all of your cellophane squares on your template, it's going to look something like this. And when it's complete, you've got your purple mountains, your little river running through, your burning bush, your grass, and then from there you've got your snow-peaked mountains, and that's where it's going to stick. So you also have a piece of waxed paper in your bag, and so the last thing you're going to do is you're going to open that up. And you can see I've already stuck mine on there. That's just going to protect it so that the pieces of cellophane don't come off. And then you can find a window in your house and hang it up, and you'll get to see the sunlight shining through on your stained glass window.
When the light shines through this window cling, you will remember to shine your light into the world. We get this light from God like the window cling gets it from the sun.
Light of the world, you step down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see beauty that made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. King of all days, oh so highly exalted, glorious in heaven above. Humbly you came to the earth you created, all for love's sake became poor. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross, and I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross, and I'll never know how much it costs to see my sin upon that cross. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
Greetings from Adventure Island. Welcome back to Asbury's VBS Science. I am Scientist Janet, and with me today are...
Scientist Miss Courtney.
Scientist Ella.
And Scientist Alex.
And we are all happy that you can be
here
with us.
Today we're learning about Moses and the burning bush. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law. He led the flock to a wilderness near Horeb, the mountain of God. And here an angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire within a bush. Scientists, can you show us the people from our Bible story?
So we have Moses and his flock, we have the burning bush, and then we have the angel.
Thanks. Today we're going to use candles to represent the burning bush. Now let's see what's going to happen in our experiment. Now you'll need to get out your bag for day 2 science. In this bag you should have 2 candles and a container of Play-Doh. Then you'll need to ask your parent to help you with the next part. You'll need a lighter and 2 small glasses that are not plastic but glass.
2 of our scientists, Scientist Ella and Scientist Alex, will make 2 candle holders out of the Play-Doh in your bag. Now they will place 1 regular candle and 1 magic candle in the Play-Doh. Alex will light the candles. Now that the candles are burning, let's think about different ways that we could make the candles go out.
Well, you can blow them out.
I usually dip them in water.
Or you could use a snuffer like in church.
All right, these are all ways that we could make the candles go out. Ella, would you try your way first? We know that 3 things must be present. Oh, our candle came back on. Well, let's blow it out again. Oh, good job, Ella. Well, we know that 3 things must be present. Oh, well, let's talk about this for a minute. We know that 3 things must be present in order to have a fire. What are these 3 things, Ella?
Heat, fuel, and oxygen.
That's right. Heat, fuel, and oxygen. All right, we have the heat, or the kindling temperature, and we have oxygen, and the fuel is the vapor from the tallow. So what could we do now to cut off one of those 3 things?
You could place a glass over it.
Yes, that's a great idea, Scientist Alex. Let's put the glass over there and remove the oxygen and see what happens. Well, that worked, didn't it? I wonder if it would work for the other one. Let's relight both of those and see if putting a glass over both of them will make it go out. All right, so they eventually both went out and we cut the oxygen off. Let's think for a minute about what was the same and what was different in this experiment. What was the same, Scientist Ella?
Well, they all burned. They all needed oxygen to burn. And when you put the glasses over them, the oxygen was removed.
That's correct. They all burned, they all needed oxygen, and they had their oxygen supply cut off. What was different, Scientist Alex?
So the regular candle just had a cotton wick, and the magic candle had a cotton wick, but it also had magnesium filings in it to where it would relight.
In today's story, Moses saw a fire that did not go out. It was like a lot of other fires he had seen before, but it was also very different because it did not go out. And a voice came from the burning bush. We can trust God, but God's ways are sometimes surprising to us. Now it's time for an adult to help you light your candles in your kit.
Welcome back, explorers. I hope all of you had as much success in learning about the lantern of trust as I did. Just look at this beauty. Learning to trust can be really hard. Do you remember how hard Moses' job was? He led over 600,000 people out of Egypt through the desert. Moses really had to trust that God was going to help him accomplish the big job that God was calling him to do. Moses shows us that we can also shine God's light of trust by answering God's call. Now, most people aren't going to hear God speaking through a burning bush, but if we trust in Him, we can hear His call. Much like ships need to trust a lighthouse. Sometimes the nights are very dark or the fog is extremely thick and you can't even see the hand in front of your face. Having a bright light to guide you is just so comforting. It reminds me of our Pathfinder saying, "Arise, shine with trust." Okay, let's do it again, and this time, let's add those motions. Arise, shine with trust. This Pathfinder goes along perfectly with our signal verse. Say it with me. Arise, shine, your light has come. The Lord's glory has shone upon you. That's found in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. What a great day of exploration we've had on the island.
Hey campers, welcome back. It's great to see you again. I am your missions director. Remember from yesterday we talked about an organization called Urban Ministry. One of their sister partners is Community Church Without Walls. And since COVID-19 began in March, Community Church Without Walls and Urban Ministry have partnered to create homemade hot lunches for kids in downtown Birmingham. We're going to go back to Tom in the kitchen, who is with his favorite lunch lady, Miss Barnes, to learn more.
Another aspect of food ministry here at Urban over the years has been the preparation of hot meals. We have done that in one way or another over the entire 42-year history of the agency. The way we've been doing that during the COVID-19 pandemic has been in partnership with our friends from Community Church Without Walls, which meets in our building, and many of whom just waved to you as the camera went by. They provide the expertise with the cooking and the preparation of the meals. We provide the kitchen and the place to do it, and we are both chipping in on the purchase of the food. We started this because we were concerned about the children who got their meals primarily through the school system, and that was cut off, as we all know, in about the middle of March. And immediately these good folks started thinking of ways to help feed the children. And so since the middle of March, in our combined efforts, we have fed 100 children twice per week. So they have prepared 200 meals a week since the middle of March and are committed to going on to doing that all the way until school starts in the fall. One of the members of the team is Miss Trevi Barnes, and I've asked her to say just a few words about what being able to prepare this food means to her. Yay.
Hello, my name is Trevi Barnes. I'm here with the Community Church Without Walls group. And right now, within the absence of our main cook, I'm the chief cook, okay? Today we will be having spaghetti and salad and juice. Our kids seem to enjoy their meal every week. They fed twice a week. I think it's pretty nutritious. Reports come back saying it's very good. Hadn't had any complaints, had nobody got sick, and we've been doing real good with the pandemic, epidemic being clean and wearing our gloves and masks and stuff. Okay, thank you.
All donations that are made in the month of July are being matched to Urban Ministries and Community Church Without Walls. I want to encourage you to give today. Even if you gave yesterday, you can give a little bit more and use our give button at the top of the screen, or you can look for it right in the chat.
Hi, it's Pastor Robert again, and we're so thankful that you have spent this time with us. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Let's pray together. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show his favor and give you peace. Now, arise, shine with trust. Bye, everyone.
Shines bright in the worship flows with a little bit of rhythm and a whole lot of soul. Come on everybody, let's ride where the love runs deep and the grace runs wide and the lost get found and the blind can see. If you're ready for adventure, then come with me to A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E-I-N. A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E-I.
They say a magic place, everything's crystal clear. We see the love of Jesus lighting up the atmosphere, and his holy spark will set our hearts ablaze. Shine like a city on a hill that cannot be contained.
A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E-I-N. A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E-I-N. A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E-I-N.
Arise and shine, give God the glory. Arise and shine, give God the glory. Arise and shine, give God the glory. Children of the Lord, we shall arise and shine, give God the glory. Arise and shine, give God the glory. Arise and shine, give God the glory. Children of the Lord, we shall see the magic place. Everything's crystal clear. We see the love of Jesus lighting up the atmosphere, and his holy spark will set our hearts ablaze. Shine like a city on a hill that cannot be contained. No.
A-D-V-E-N-T-U-R-E-I-N. Don't know what lies ahead, never walked this road before.
But I am confident, never been more sure.
We are discovering who we're made to be as we discover who you are. Discovery on Adventure Island. Discovery on Adventure Island. Knowing God will always guide us. The Spirit leads we'll go. Trusting Jesus we will follow. Discovery on Adventure Island. We will seek until we find the way, the truth and the light. On a quest for the light. We go with love, we go with trust. Joy in our hearts, we lift you up. We go with love, we go with faith. 'Cause we are seeking Jesus.